In 3 weeks' time, 1,000 Kenyan cops will kiss their wives and babies goodbye, arm themselves to the teeth, and embark on the deadliest mission of their careers. The mission, Operation Save Haiti.
This is Haiti, caught in the middle of an escalating gang war. It's a country on the brink of collapse. Murder, kidnappings and sexual violence are an everyday reality. The gangs have become too powerful and the police are no match. Haiti is a small country in the Caribbean. Its capital, Port-au-Prince, is mostly controlled by dangerous armed gangs. January was the most violent month in the country in more than 2 years.
At least 806 people were killed, injured or kidnapped in January.
In 2023, nearly 5,000 people were killed, a 110% increase on the year before.
Gangs also continued to use sexual violence against women and girls as a weapon.
Things have deteriorated as this year has gone on. These people fled their homes during heavy shootouts between rival gangs fighting for control of territory and businesses. And in that same month, gangs attacked police stations, the main airport, and raided the country's 2 biggest prisons, releasing thousands of inmates.
La prisión, el motín, sí, corría peligro nuestras vidas.
In March, Haiti entered a state of emergency. Signs of street battles can be seen everywhere. This elderly woman was hit by a stray bullet. Now, a gang boss and former police officer known as Barbecue has called for criminal groups to unite and overthrow the Prime Minister Ariel Henry. These gangs are incredibly powerful. They control major roads, ports and food supplies and take money from businesses. But fear is their number one weapon. But Haiti's troubles go back much further than this. How Haiti got to this point can be traced through its history of political instability, social unrest, natural disasters, and foreign interventions. After being ruled as a Spanish and then a French colony, Haiti got a glimpse of independence in the 1800s. The Haitian Revolution was the first successful large-scale revolt by enslaved people in modern history. But it came at a price. The country was forced to take out high-interest loans to pay a debt to France. In 1915, the United States invaded, wanting to protect their own commercial interests in the country. Its 20-year occupation was sometimes a bloody one. More unstable governments followed until the 1950s, when François Duvalier, also known as Papa Doc, seized power and ruled as a dictator. Following his death, his son, Baby Doc, took over. Under their rule, thousands of people were murdered or tortured in jails, and corruption left the country struggling economically. In 1987, a revolt forced Baby Doc to flee. But what followed was more chaos, with multiple leaders replaced in military coups. President Jean-Bertrand Aristide fled into exile after several attempts at overthrowing him led to conflict across the country. The United Nations sent a peacekeeping force to restore order. By this time, Haiti was grappling with gang violence and spiralling crime, as well as political instability. But this UN mission was controversial, being linked to a cholera outbreak and allegations of human rights abuses. In 2010, more misery was added to the already desperate situation when a devastating earthquake hit.
They're trying to clear the streets.
But things got even worse in 2021, when President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated. Since then, gang violence has surged, with criminal groups stepping in to fill the gap left by political failure and a lack of economic development. The smuggling of weapons and drugs into the country also fuels the criminal groups. With no elected civilian government, chaos on the streets and a group of gangs who control vast swathes of the country. To all intents and purposes, Haiti is now controlled by a federation of gang bosses, which is arguably a world first. I knew straight away was a force to be reckoned with. This most recent wave of gang violence spiked when the country's Prime Minister, Ariel Henry, visited Kenya.
Mr. Prime Minister.
He's been finalising plans for a peacekeeping force to come from Africa to Haiti with the financial backing of the United States.
Given this increasingly urgent need, the United States Department of Defense is doubling its approved support for the mission.
That mission is set to include 1,000 Kenyan police officers. It has now been delayed until a new government is in place in Haiti.
We are making this response because it is what is right. It is what humankind can do to fellow humankind.
And that may be true, but the African nation also wants to prove itself as a dependable ally on the world stage.
Effectivement, un peu de monde dans quartier populaire au Cameroun. Un peu de monde. Et il a tué plus de monde dans quartier populaire, il a tué plus de
warfare. Elsewhere, the United States is trying to come up with a plan for the country's political transition. Hours after Antony Blinken met with Caribbean leaders, Haiti's Prime Minister announced he will resign.
Immédiatement après installation conseil ça.
But only once a presidential council is created. While the timeline for this is unclear, what is clear is that the people of Haiti want a change. The longer this crisis goes on, the more people are being caught in the crossfire.
This is Case Files, your hub of unsolved cases, historical crimes, legal analysis, and personal investigations. Today's case file begins. This is an assignment that President Ruto assured the whole world that Kenya would spearhead by sending half the number of troops needed to liberate the Caribbean country from the gangs that have seized control.
Kenyan President William Ruto marching ahead with a plan to send 1,000 police officers to Haiti despite strong opposition to the deployment at home. Elite units of the Kenya police are expected to lead the UN-backed multinational force to crush Haiti's gangs and restore order once a viable government is in place. Opposition lawmakers like Edwin Sifuna tried to block it.
Our police officers are going to harm's way in Haiti. So this is not a situation that our regular police officers are used to. They have never encountered something like that. Their training does not extend to, operations in fields of war.
Kenyan police have been involved in peacekeeping missions for the past 35 years, including in Cambodia, the former Yugoslavia, Kosovo, Croatia, East Timor, and Sierra Leone. Kenya currently has police serving in Somalia, South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, according to a parliamentary report.
In all those missions, Kenya has not lost a single police officer on any combat.
They're ready for Haiti, this senior policeman believes.
Kenya has well-trained paramilitary officers from the General Service Unit. They have well-trained officers from the Administration Police Special Operations Group. These are officers who have both local and international training, some of the best institutions in Israel, in US.
Haiti would be the most challenging deployment yet for Kenyan police, with criminal gangs and militias controlling the capital Port-au-Prince and holding the nation hostage.
It is a historic duty because peace in Haiti is good for peace in the world as a whole.
President Ruto should push for a well-armed military contingent to take over says this security analyst.
Our police officers cannot and can never be able to contain the threat of the criminality in Haiti. You need to send thousands of military personnel to come and disarm.
Honorable members,
The Kenyan parliament approved the planned police deployment to Haiti after acrimonious debate in November.
When Haiti is not safe, we are not safe.
You cannot use our police women and men as guinea pigs at the altar of rent seeking.
Civil society and opposition groups here in Kenya maintain that President Ruto's plan to send 1,000 police officers to Haiti remains illegal and unconstitutional, even after his government signed a reciprocal arrangement with the former Prime Minister of Haiti. The unelected Ariel Henry witnessed the signing of the legal requirement in Nairobi, but he never made it back to Haiti and resigned a few days later.
That agreement does not hold any water because you signed an agreement with an entity that does not have the mandate to call itself a government. Some of us think that it is because of the monetary incentive.
So you think President Ruto is doing this for the money?
Absolutely.
Kenya says the police are in the pre-deployment phase as it awaits a new Haitian administration.
This is amidst a barrage of criticism from Kenya's populace and fourth estate led by Ayub Abdikadir, who questioned the rationale of sending troops 12,078 kilometers away to peacekeep as Kenyans in Baringo face bandit attacks.
Follow up to my president, Dr. Ruto. You said that Kenya is committed, and in your Carter speech in Atlanta, you said it's based on humanitarianism, helping Haiti out. But can you explain the geopolitical goal, 12,000 kilometers away from Nairobi, when schools in the counties of Baringo, West Pokot, and Turkana have not yet opened because of the banditry problem, yet you are committing our national police force to Haiti, and where is the priority? This being one of your major manifesto pillars, talking about security, and to the extent that even the Defense Cabinet Secretary talked about the deployment of, if need be, the Kenyan military or the special personnel to make sure that schools are open, children go to school in areas that are bandit prone in Kenya. Why are you committing to Haiti when we have a problem back home? Is it an irony that you are putting the fire in the faraway neighbor's home when when our own home is on fire?
Thank you very much. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya to sort out insecurity in the North Rift. I have followed that with action. As we talk, there are 3,000 military officers in the North Rift, 2,000 police officers in the North Rift. We have renovated the first 15 schools and completed. We have reopened 20 schools already that were closed in the North Rift, and that exercise is ongoing. We have made tremendous progress in making sure that we create security at home, but that does not take away our responsibility. Even as we were deploying troops and policemen in our own country, in North Rift, to sort out the banditry problem, we still deployed 1,000 troops to DRC Congo, because that is our neighborhood. We have 5,000 troops in Somalia, because equally that is our responsibility. And Haiti should not be an exception. That's why deploying 1,000 security men to Haiti speaks to the same belief and commitment to peace and security.
On the other hand, Haitians and pan-africanists critique this move as being neo-colonic in nature, since Kenya is only going to Haiti because of the money and relationship it shares with the US. This makes us seem to be a poster child of America's agenda in Africa.
The question with regard to Haiti is, we concluded that for the United States to deploy forces in the hemisphere just raises all kinds of questions that can be easily misrepresented about what we're trying to do and be able to be used by those who disagree with us and against the interest of Haiti and the United States. So we set out to find a partner or partners who would lead that effort that we would participate in, not with American forces, but with supplies and making sure they had what they needed. And so, I'm very grateful for President Ruto's leadership here, multinational effort, but Kenya's willingness to really lead this matters. You're not the only country, but you're leading this effort. And there's going to be U.S. forces, none on the ground, but we're going to supply logistics, intelligence, and equipment. Matter of fact, some equipment has already arrived. And Kenya is stepping up with police, and other countries plan to do as well. The United States is going to support the collective effort here. And of course, Kenya won't be going it alone. We're working with Congress to provide $300 million to MSS mission and an additional $60 million for equipment assistance. And we've received and are continuing to bring major contributions from other partners in as well. President Ruto and I agree that Haitian people deserve better. They deserve peace and security, and I thank him for taking on this responsibility, but we have his back and we're there all the way.
An allegation Kenya cannot deny, as it is continuously benefits from this relationship, having been recently named as a neo-NATO ally backed up by the heavy investment America has channeled into our economy. Without counting the billions Kenya is going to earn from going on this mission, 12,078 kilometers away.
US President Joe Biden is expected to designate Kenya as a major non-NATO ally, a source familiar with the plans has said. That would make Kenya the first sub-Saharan African country to receive such a designation. The announcement is expected during a 3-day state visit by Kenyan President William Ruto. As he welcomed Ruto to the White House on Wednesday, Biden said he planned to visit Africa in February, though that is after the next US presidential election. A range of issues are being discussed during Ruto's trip, including trade and debt relief, as well as the way forward for Ukraine, Sudan, and Haiti. Kenya is currently planning to send troops to help address a security crisis in Haiti as part of a UN-backed mission.
Hello, everyone.
On Wednesday, Biden said he and Ruto would also launch a new era of technology cooperation. That includes work on cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and semiconductors.
From Silicon Valley to Silicon Savannah, our people have brought us forward and they've pioneered new technologies that are transforming millions of lives.
Our young population, talented, educated, innovative, and American technology that is cutting edge, and investment capital and investors that are hungry for opportunities, not just in Kenya but in our continent, is a perfect match for this moment.
For the main course,
Ruto's trip also includes a state dinner, marking 60 years of ties between the two countries. The non-NATO ally designation is granted to close allies that have strategic working relationships with the US military. The apparent courtship reflects Washington's desire to deepen relations with Kenya, which also has long had close ties with Russia and China.
It is clear as day that Kenya is going there for the money, as mentioned by the US envoy. Something that brings out the insincerity of this mission, sparking demonstrations by Haitians in diaspora.
Also from my colleague Lara Madowo from Kenya on that deployment of the Kenyan forces. Clearly, not everyone, Ambassador, at home there agrees with this deployment. Just from the number of troops there, 1,000, is that even going to cut it? Just talk to the challenges and even the risks in your view.
1,000 isn't going to cut it. And while they have commitments for double or triple that, that's still not going to cut it. Every time there's been a military intervention into Haiti in the past 30 years, it's had a minimum of 20,000 troops or police going in there. You see the reticence on the part of the Kenyan public to send these guys, and that makes me nervous. I believe this is more of a cash grab by President Ruto, whose country would receive a lot of money for doing this. But the Haitians are well armed, and if the international community imposes this new CARICOM government construct, they're going to fight the Kenyans to the death.
US Papa Kenya. US Papa Kenya.
I'm here because I want Haitians and black people all around the world to stand up together and lock arms in the spirit of pan-africanism. This is the 10th time in 30 years that they've invaded Haiti. And every time that they invade, something bad happens. In 2004, when they invaded Haiti, 8,000 people were massacred, 35,000 children were raped. And on top of that, countless of tens of thousands of children were human trafficked through fake orphanages. The UN is not there to help the people fight the gangs. They are there to keep the people from organizing and getting Aya Only out. That's why he's asking for them to come, so that he can maintain his power. If the United States wanted to, they could stop the weapons from going into Haiti. They could put an embargo on Cuba and stop Cuba from getting basic needs. They could stop Haiti from getting weapons. They control all the ports. It's the wealthy people in Haiti that control the ports, and the guns are coming through the ports. Whose interests do the wealthy people represent? The people of Haiti or that of the United States? 2 + 2 = 4. This is easy math.
US Papa Kenya. Shame on you. William Ruto. US Papa Kenya. Shame on you. William Ruto. US Papa.
However, despite this conflict that is understandably true, one thing both Kenya and its criticizers can agree on is that this mission is as deadly as a cobra bite. This is because, unlike our local gangsters who are not sure if they are thieves or just jobless, these sons of the Caribbean beaches that our elite cops are going to tame are the devil himself, armed with guns better than the Haitian cops.
He's not responsible for all the violence sweeping across Haiti's capital, but be under no doubt he's at the centre of it. His fighters are never far away. Is this now all your territory? Because it was an open road when I was last here.
Yeah.
Jimmy Chirizia, universally referred to here as Barbecue, is the head of one of the most powerful gangs in Port-au-Prince. But he's also the head of a gang consortium that's brought Haiti to its knees. He took us through the roadblocks of buses they've put in place to stop police raids on his territory. That territory now extends over one of the city's main roads, an economic highway he controls in its entirety.
Tout côté regarde là quand nous simbralé, on va faire gros route là parce que Charles a rencontré avec simbralé m'a passé pendant. Mais tout en l'air tout côté regarde net yo, on s'excuse monsieur. Tout côté regarde le net yo, tout ce territoire nous quoi dans dialogue. Et nous pour dialogue, nous toujours prôner pour un dialogue. Mais groupe moun ça qui la classe politique ça qui là, yo pas là pour dialogue. Raison parce que yo pas pour Haïti dans cœur ou même avec nous. Classe politique qui là y a fait une exclusion côté que y a dit bandi, nèg azam baladan. Mais son façon pour renouveler système nan, Jean Lia parce que système nan il vient dans bout li. Et écart qui gagne entre moun riche et moun pauvre en Haïti en li trop. Dans le monde entier gagne écart entre moun riche et moun pauvre. Mais gens fait en Haïti ali indécent. En nous prêt toute solution depuis c'est haïtien qui sous table. Nous même nous prêt pour nous chita parler avec tout le monde parce que ça qui passe dans pays là. Et zamio a bien pour yo baisser, les pour yo baisser. Dans moment nous pas arriver dans phase pour nous baisser zamio parce que moun qui là pas ko vle tendre la raison. Nous avons plus passé 2 à 3 ans depuis que nous avons prôné un dialogue, depuis que nous avons demandé pour tout le monde chita sous table pour nous dialoguer avec monsieur qui gagne zamio. Personne ne va vle tendre nous. Et je dis à nous, nous avons une situation côté que nous n'avons pas avancé. nous avons un objectif nous clair. Et les hommes, il faut qu'on qu'il est pour avancer, qu'il est pour replier. Je pense que chaque jour passé, nous avons utilisé une nouvelle stratégie pour nous capables d'avancer. Pas rien qui calme. Et dans le jour qui vient là, on va le plus mal que Jean-Louis là. Parce que tout autant, nous n'avons pas joué un bout de système ça. Tout autant, nous n'avons pas choisi de mettre tout le monde sous table là. Tout autant, vivre ensemble sous table là. Pour nous venir, pour nous chita, pour nous parler. Tout autant, nous n'avons pas de représentants nous. Parce que je dis, conseil présidentiel, 7 mois, nous n'avons pas de représentants nous. Nous n'avons pas de représentants nous. C'est le même système qui va le régénérer encore pour continuer tout petit monde qui est dans le quartier populaire. Je dis, il faut nous représenter. Et là, nous représenter, nous sommes là pour nous défendre les droits nous. Et que nous sommes capables de dire, OK, nous sommes chita. Et nous faisons partie de solutions, qu'on a ensemble continuer à des solutions pour payer la paix. Mais tout autant nous pas sous table là, payer ça pas jamais en paix.
Inside his territory, despite the poverty, life is relatively peaceful and organised. Unlike in much of Port-au-Prince, queues for food barbecue gets brought in are orderly. Usually it's chaos. But here people wait knowing that there are enough supplies for the whole community. And this is a source of barbecue's strength. To the outside world, he may be a gangster, but here he's a sort of Robin Hood.
Ils vont venir faire massacre dans le quartier populaire parce que les oligarques, avec les politiciens, ils parlent orientés vers le quartier populaire sous prétexte qu'ils viennent décider de tirer bandits, sous prétexte qu'ils viennent décider de tirer gang, ils vont entrer dans le quartier populaire et que pour venir faire massacre. À ce moment-là, nous-mêmes qui avons des armes, nous ne pouvons pas quitter ça. Mais je dis à des gens qui ont classe évolué. Je dis, depuis les militaires kenyans sont entrés, ou bien les policiers kenyans, whatever, l'autre policier qui est entré, nous avons considéré comme des agresseurs. Nous avons considéré comme des envahisseurs. Et je dis, nous ne pouvons pas collaborer avec aucun envahisseur, aucun agresseur qui vient sortir pour passer l'indépendance pays nous en bas pied. Nous avons continué de n'importe façon.
The road barbecue now controls is all but deserted. The signs of battle, the burnt-out cars and the deserted buildings are the visual signs of uprooted families who've been forced to flee in their tens of thousands. He says he's trying to rein in the more violent gangs. He says they need to change their ways or risk losing their revolution.
Vivre ensemble son leadership collectif lié. Et moi pas qu'à utiliser la force contre monsieur. Si mal utiliser la force contre son gourmet perpétuel là pied. Nous pas jamais qu'à faire ça nous besoin faire contre monde qui mettait situation ça. Mais chaque jour, parfois nous parler 7-8 fois dans le téléphone pour à chaque fois que me tendez dans nouvelle, soit au kidnappe pour monde, soit un bagage qui pas bon, qui fait nous toujours les messieurs dans le téléphone pour regarder ensemble comment nous capable corriger ça. Et même yo même tout qui t'a fait là, je dis à yo commencer à prendre conscience que et ça pas bon, nous pas faire encore.
Jimmy Chirizier, a former policeman and self-proclaimed man of the people, he paused to fly a kite, an Easter tradition here, laughing and joking with his people. A criminal to many, but an unlikely hero in his territory, no ordinary society needs people like barbecue. But Haiti isn't normal. How or when it can achieve normality is impossible to predict.
They have decorated CV of attacking police stations and freeing over 4,000 prisoners from prisons, with an added hobby of kidnapping people for ransoms. Because once they catch you, they will chop off your ears and ask you to eat them. A scary characteristic that forced their Prime Minister Ariel Henry to resign and all foreign embassies to evacuate their personnel, leaving them to control 80% of the nation's capital. So, anyone trying to rescue Haiti must go prepared for endless war, because the mission ahead seeks to regain control of lost territory as described by the Haitian Ministry of Defense, leaving Kenya with no option but to deploy 3 of its most trained police units. First is the Reke Company. Second is the Special Ops Group. And third is the Rapid Deployment Unit. These are the baddest units in the Kenya Police Force.
And a fine testimony of our aspirations to enhance peace, security, law and order by providing members with the best facilities to unlock their highest level of professional performance for the benefit of the people you serve. When I saw what the men and women in this campus go through, it gave me a lot of confidence that the future of our country is in safe hands. And this continuous training of our special units is going to guarantee what the police service constitutionally is mandated to do for our country. I want to commit that going into the future, we will continuously enhance resources available to continuously professionalize, train, and equip our security officers to ensure that they secure the lives, property, and interests and the prosperity of our nation.
Starting with the Reke Squad, which is made up of officers who've undergone a 7-month Israeli design training program after successfully finishing a 10-month training for theory at Embakasi and 10 months in the harsh terrain of Magadi for field tactics. These men are usually armed with a Stoneface M16 rifles, Uzi submachine guns, and Glock pistols. Weapons that aid their close combat training while delivering their job of VVIP protection, counter-terrorism, as well as hostage rescue missions. This is evident by the swiftness they've portrayed in finishing off terrorists that had kept the military police at bay during the Westgate Mall terror attack, Garissa University attack, and Dusit 2 attack. These men are who the army rely on when things get sticky. Followed by the Special Operation Group SOG, who are equipped by the US Department of State and trained by contractors. US Department of State Diplomatic Security Service and US Border Patrol, since they are deployed to terror-prone areas. These bad boys are Al-Shabaab's biggest nightmares, because they are highly trained commandos who aptly deploy intelligence in order to take out terror cells while also aiding forces that are on the ground with synchronized movements and lightning fast responses during combat. This training has made them to successfully foil planned terrorist attacks by turning them into superheroes who can withstand hiding in enemy territory at Boni Forest with gunshot wounds for 17 days without getting caught, like PC Norman. The last unit going is the Rapid Deployment Unit. that is trained to respond on short notice and serve in severe adverse conditions for extended periods. They complement other specialized units in high-level security operations like Operation Save Haiti. And the previous security operation in Nairobi that sought to stop the muggings that had increased.
My brother, how are you? Very good. Very good. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you. Brother, welcome to the Kenya mission in New York. I'm truly grateful that we have found time to share these few moments with you. Again, just to confirm to you the government of Kenya's readiness to work with you and the great people of Haiti in the matters that are of importance to Haiti as a people and the government of Haiti and to humanity. I know that we do not have currently diplomatic relations properly established. I have instructed my office in New York yeah, 300 years later. Okay, congratulations, gentlemen. Congratulations. Congratulations, Hafsat. Congratulations, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you very much.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much.
Again, thank you again. Thank you again. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, Antonio. Very good. My very best.
These bad boys are the final nail on the coffin to criminals who escape other security operations. So, when the boots of Reke Squad and SOG Corps hit the Haitian ground, the RDU will be following them like a shadow, ready to hit these gangs where their counterparts miss. Something that has sent shivers to them as they send warnings through their leader, Barbecue, who was forced to unite with his enemies, Innocent, Lanmo Sanjo of Mawozo gang, and John Aizo, who has armed his 5 Seconds gang heavily in wait for the Kenyan troops because they are our targets. However, these are just 4 of the over 200 gangs that control the city, leaving us to wonder if our troops will be successful where other foreign missions have failed. Well, as you think, may God protect our brothers and sisters.
They've locked themselves in to keep the gangs outside. Haiti's Communication Ministry building has been taken over, a sanctuary against the violence that is sweeping Port-au-Prince. They're desperate for anything, they're short of everything. The chaotic queue for meagre supplies of donated food. There's hardly anything.
I have no choice. I have to sleep here because I can't sleep on the street. It's not safe. There's no government helping us. We need someone to help us out here. Aside from God, there's no one to help us. And we're in misery here.
People caught in the crossfire, some shot multiple times, sit on floors. They're receiving no medical attention. Any medicine they had has long since run out. But there is nowhere for them to go.
I don't know where the bullet came from. I just got shot. I lost everything and I can't get home.
All of these people, unable to leave Port-au-Prince, say the gang violence is ruining their lives. That they're in a government building abandoned by the authorities pretty much sums up the chaos here. A police vehicle is now permanently parked outside the presidential palace. It's been the target of multiple attacks by the gangs who are threatening to take it over. Across Port-au-Prince, the signs of violence, burnt-out cars and damaged roads are everywhere. Police stations were specifically targeted. The people here have no idea how this is going to be resolved. The gang coalition, led by Jimmy Cherizier, known as Barbecue, is threatening to increase its violence if Haiti's politicians try to take back control. It means that this always troubled country is descending into even more chaos.
Who will embark on this journey and grant them success? The big question is, will it be mission possible or impossible? This has been the inside story of Kenya's mission to save Haiti. Reporting for Case Files, I am GK.